Hello, loved one. How have you been in the past week? I trust that you've been well. Thank you for coming back again at Ask a Therapist. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button and let us continue to spread the love together. We love you and we want you to spread the love outward as well. As I keep saying, we are made for love. We are made to love one another. Let's get to it. For the new subscribers, welcome to Ask a Therapist. Welcome to the loved ones family. Feel at home and spread the love. Today we are going to talk about trust. Trust is something that cannot be taken lightly, and it is also something that we take very seriously. And we see mostly that trust is very hard to earn, and once earned, it is easily broken. And after knowing that, you find that the whole issue of trust still gets even more complicated by nature versus nurture, because how you are brought up, the family that you came from, and the experiences that you already have at this time can also shape how much trust you are willing to give, or really can you trust or not. So when you look at these things, you find that it can be really difficult to trust. As you grow up, you find that people often are not that trustworthy. Let me use that. So the factors to consider when speaking about trust is your childhood. How was your childhood? Were you brought up by people you could trust? If yes, how are you doing right now? Are you able to trust people, or have you met people who have shown you that no matter what happens, no matter what they say, they never keep their word? So we are talking about at the workplace, in school, and also socially, the people that you meet with, and of course, relationship-wise. Nothing is more important than trust in a relationship. Depending on what kind of relationship you have, there are many relationships like friendships, but mostly the most important one is the one where two people meet, marriage. I am not saying all the other relationships do not require trust, because the process is the same. Every person who requires trust also has to be able to give of themselves. One thing to watch out for, if you are thinking you are never going to trust anybody anymore because they always hurt you, I have a question for you. Have you ever asked yourself, why do I trust so easily, and yet people keep breaking the trust that I have handed them? Once you answer that question, then you will know that you cannot trust somebody because they simply looked like they were trustworthy, or what they said convinced you that you are supposed to trust them. So every person who enters your life has to earn trust. That way you don't get into the same pitfalls each time, because if say you've been looking at people and they looked like they were trustworthy but they ended up letting you down big time, then it is time to change the way you do it and see how it goes, because those people that break your trust are the same people that hinder you from having healthy relationships and from pursuing relationships that would have otherwise paid off. So here to tell you that if you want to find people that are trustworthy, you also have to be willing to open yourself up, and yes, once again, to give some of yourself away to that person, because trust is something that happens between two people. It is not something that you can have for one person or the other person can have for you, yet you do not have the same. So do your due diligence and be a trustful person. Be a person of integrity to yourself and to the trusted person. Also, be aware of habits that may act as decoys for trust. There are people who know how to emulate sincerity, who know how to speak like they are the most honest in the whole world, who know how to look at you in a way that you think this person is trustworthy. Remember, I told you that be very careful so that you don't fall into the same pitfalls that you did. And so give people time, get to know them. There is no rush in when or how you are going to trust. There is not even a book that you can read that will tell you, okay, in maybe the next week you can start trusting, or in 6 months that's when you trust. No, take your time, move slowly, see what happens, see what that person is all about, and decide whether you want to trust them or not. Also, make sure you understand the other person motive towards you, because people approach you for different reasons. Make sure that you know why the person approached you and what they needed from you. That also is something that will tell you whether that person you should trust or not. So look deep down into yourself and bring out what you would want the other person to do, or what you would want the other person to show you in order for you to trust them. So do to others what you would want them or what you'd love them to do for you. That way, then trust is not going to be difficult. And let them also reciprocate. Do not overcompensate to try and earn someone's trust. Just be yourself. Let them also be themselves, so that by then now you can move step by step and everything will go into place without you risking getting hurt. Because most people say, I don't think I'll ever trust anyone again, because they've gotten hurt and then hurt and then hurt and then hurt again, because you find that you tend to find the same kind of people. You find somebody that you think, okay, now this is it, but then you come to find out you are wrong, and not the first or the second time, and then you give up altogether. I'm telling you, do not give up on trust. There are people out there who are trustworthy, but you have to find them, just as they also have to find you. So you have to open yourself up, put yourself out there, and don't be in a hurry. Don't rush these things. Trust cannot be rushed. You just have to wait and see and look at the person carefully and find out if they are really trustworthy or it was just a mirage. And if they are, then you can choose to trust them. And yes, even if somebody is trustworthy, something could happen and they could still break your heart. But I'm telling you not to give up, because once you find somebody who you can really trust and who trusts you back, then you'll see it was all worth it. It's not too hard, or it wasn't too hard for you to get to them. So one thing you need to have at the back of your mind is that in this type of a relationship, tit for tat does not cut it, and it never will, because it is not you need to do this so that I can also do it. No, it is a relationship that you will have to foster, that will have to grow day by day. So put yourself out there, and the other person will also have put themselves out there. And then there will be a chance for you to find real friendship. There will be a chance for you to find real relationships, lasting relationships that do not want to take away from you, but those that are there to build you up so that you can build one another up. So open yourself up to trust, but be careful. Watch and see if it is worth your time to trust the person that you are willing either to befriend or have any type of relationship with. Even relatives also need to be, I'll say, vetted, because not every person you are related to is trustworthy. I'm sure you already know that. So even them, you will have to check them out to wait and see, are they trustworthy or not? And after that, I can assure you, you will have friends that you can trust, as long as you do not jump into the trust trap, which is whereby you just look at the person at face value and decide, I am trusting this one does not look trustworthy, and so on. You know how it goes. Thank you so much for being with me this week. Have a lovely week. I love you guys. Jesus loves you too. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you once again to the new subscribers. Welcome to the Loved Ones family. We love you. Let us keep spreading the love.